Hello everyone, welcome to Potato Gaming. In this video, we will see 15 PC games for you who love space like Starfield.
These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great...
Number 1 is Stellaris. Stellaris is a real-time grand strategy game set in one of several available galaxy types in the distant future. Players play as a government of a species in early stages of interstellar space exploration, right after the invention of faster-than-light space travel technology, ready to claim a place as one of the species of the stars. Depending on several factors, such as the ethics of the civilization and the player's desires, the ultimate goal of the Empire can range from galactic conquest, hoarding of resources and technological supremacy, to peaceful coexistence with or absolute destruction of all other sentient life.
We are being hailed.
Number 2 is Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds features an unnamed player character exploring a solar system that is stuck in a time loop, going back 22 minutes before its star goes supernova. Thus, the player is encouraged to learn why by exploring and uncovering secrets of an extinct race known as the Namai, who previously colonized the solar system hundreds of thousands of years ago. Some events and locations change during the course of the time loop, which means that areas and puzzles are often only accessible at certain times. Number 3 is Astroneer. Astroneer is a sandbox adventure game played from a third-person view. Its open-world planets, wherein terraforming can take place, are subject to procedural generation, with the exception of some planet-specific resources. The player controls an astronaut who navigates on foot, by rover, through teleportation, or by spacecraft. Number 4 is Kerbal Space Program. In the game, players direct a nascent space program, staffed and crewed by green humanoid aliens known as Kerbals. The game features a realistic orbital physics engine, allowing for various real-life orbital maneuvers such as Hohmann transfer orbits and orbital rendezvous. The player administers a space program operated by Kerbals, a species of small green humanoids, who have constructed a spaceport on their home planet of Kerbin. From the Space Center, players can build various vehicles such as rockets, aircraft, spaceplanes, and rovers from a provided set of components. Number 5 is Helldivers.
All bug planets seem to contain large quantities of fossils.
In Helldivers, the player needs to coordinate their actions during chaotic combat in order to complete objectives and to avoid friendly fire casualties. The game pits the player against 3 different enemy species and tasks them with ensuring the survival of Super-Earth. Gameplay takes place on procedurally generated missions where players must accomplish a series of objectives. Number 6 is Oxygen Not Included. Oxygen Not Included is a simulation survival game. At the start of a new game, 3 colonists find themselves in an asteroid with isolated pockets of breathable atmosphere, with no memory of how they got there. The player is tasked with managing and taking care of these duplicants as they try to survive and create a sustainable makeshift space colony. The player must monitor the duplicants' hunger, waste, and oxygen levels to keep them alive. Number 7 is Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous is a massively multiplayer space epic and the 4th installment in the legendary Elite series. Elite Dangerous brings a modern look and new features to the Elite franchise. It is the first game in the series to feature online multiplayer and a vast 1-to-1 scale simulation of the Milky Way galaxy based on real scientific principles, recent scientific data and theories. Number 8 is Bourderlands, the pre-sequel.
to keep it out of Deadlift's hands. Now that he's dead, you're going to open the safe for me. Here, follow me.
The storyline of the pre-sequel focuses on Jack, an employee of the Hyperion Corporation. After the company's Helios space station is captured by a military unit known as the Lost Legion, he leads a group of 4 Vault Hunters, all of whom were non-playable characters and bosses in previous Borderlands games, on an expedition to regain control of Helios, defeat the Lost Legion, and find the hidden vault on Pandora's moon Elpis.
Kill it!
Jack here! The real doing Jack Fry!
Number 9 is Mass Effect. Mass Effect games are action role-playing games. The player customizes their version of the game's main character based on physical appearance, background, and one of 6 character classes, each class centered around 1 or 2 specializations in combat, technology, or biotic skills. The Mass Effect original trilogy takes place in the Milky Way towards the end of the 22nd century. In 2148, humanity discovered an alien outpost on Mars and learned that Charon is actually an alien artifact known as a mass relay that enables faster than light travel to other mass relays located across the galaxy. Number 10 is The Outer Worlds.
The board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed...
The plot about the distant future when humans begun to colonize space and terraform alien planets to varying results. Hundreds of Earth residents, lured by the promise of a fresh start, sign up for the chance to travel to this new frontier. The Outer Worlds is an action role-playing video game featuring a first-person perspective. In the early stages of the game, the player can create their character and unlock a ship, which acts as the game's central hub space. The player can encounter and recruit non-player characters as companions who have their own personal missions and stories. Number 11 is Planetary Annihilation: Titans.
Landing sequence activated.
Planetary Annihilation is a real-time strategy features a planet-based map system with different types of planets and asteroid-like moons. Players will be able to conquer other planets and even entire systems on maps said to include hundreds of worlds through the Galactic War. These planets are dynamic in that they can be annihilated using other planets or catalysts. Number 12 is Starbound. Starbound contains both quests and story-driven missions buried inside its vast sandbox universe. The space shuttle acts as the player's vehicle while exploring the galaxy, containing a teleport pad the player can use to teleport down to the planets the shuttle is visiting, a ship locker for storing items, a fuel panel for refueling the ship, and a cockpit for piloting the ship. The interior of the ship is also fully customizable, with items and blocks able to be freely placed within the ship. Number 13 is FTL: Faster Than Light. The player controls a spacecraft capable of traveling faster than light. It belongs to the Galactic Federation, which is on the verge of defeat in a war with an exclusively human and xenophobic rebel faction, simply called the Rebellion. At game start, the player chooses a spacecraft to start with, each one with a different top-down layout and containing a different mix of weapons, systems, and crew. The game randomly generates 8 space sectors similar to roguelike games, with roughly 20 waypoints in each sector. Number 14 is Dead Space. The Dead Space franchise is set in the future where humanity has been able to colonize other planets. By the 23rd century, humanity has used up most of Earth's natural resources, and the world governing body, EarthGov, has fleets of planet crackers, giant mining spaceships that harvest resources by breaking apart other planets to gather materials for humanity to sustain itself. The Dead Space games franchise follow the survival horror genre, with the player character visible at all times. All menu interfaces are diegetic, produced by the character's resource integration gear spacesuit for ease of communication with other characters. Number 15 is Solar Ash.
Another one. I told you all to leave me.
Solar Ash is an adventure platforming game. The player controls the main character Ray, a void runner within a black hole known as the Ultravoid, through a bright neon-colored, three-dimensional landscape, avoiding obstacles and attacking enemies with energy slashes and a phase-shifted and hard-light sword as Ray tries to save her planet. The game's focus is less about combat and more on movement.
My shields are full. For now.